This question is, have you been, or how have you, and are you preparing for the future and the transition to adulthood? So if your family member is already an adult, what did you do? And if your child is younger, sort of what are you doing to prepare for adulthood?
I think the middle school and high school, the IEP is really an important tool. And you really have to make sure that the people that are talking to you on the high school level are getting it right. Because it's a really important tool for the child. Madison has the Cutting Edge at Edgewood College, an incredible program. Claire went to Leslie College in Cambridge, and came back and went to Cutting Edge. There's some really great opportunities for higher education here in this town. Well, in this town with Cutting Edge now. I think high school was a challenge, for Claire, I think, socially, and it gets harder as a young adult. I think at college, I think it got easier, but she was able to go out to Cambridge, which kind of freaked me out in the beginning when I heard that she was going to go to school in Boston. I used to sail into Boston, and I thought, oh my God, she's going to Boston. But then I found out what Cambridge was, which was very different than Boston. She was able to get around on the T and fly back and forth on her own. In fact, one time she was flying back and got bumped and went through Arizona, and I thought, God, if she figured that out, on her own, then, she's going to be okay. I guess going back to, letting them find their way and, giving them the opportunity to do that.
One of the things that I've helped several people with being a financial planning services business is helping parents figure out how to teach their children about money and how to set up accounts, especially when you have a child that has special needs, how to set those accounts up so that it doesn't create problems perhaps later on with different types of government programs that are available. The issue of establishing a trust, in particular if there's a tragedy that happens with Jennifer and her father, or if there's a tragedy that happens with Susan and myself, there's a fair amount of money that would perhaps go to Noah. We want to make sure it doesn't go directly to him. It goes into a trust instead. So I think that's an important thing. It's some of that is, I don't think it's negative thinking. I think it's just basically having the plans in place should there be some of those horrendous things that happen. However, the savings program can have relevance no matter what. That's not a negative thought, so to speak. So
I have to agree with my dad. The IEP, high school is a minefield. High school is a minefield, but the IEP, you have to stress the IEP from a really early age. Start advocating for it in elementary school and keep continuing. IEPs should be self-directed. So by the time the child is turning 12, that's really the time to amp up the advocacy. Ask the child what he or she wants, what they need. Have it be in the first person instead of having them be talked about in the third person all the time. They should be directing the service. It should be about what they want and what they need. And I really want to emphasize teamwork. IEPs are a team effort. It's about what's best for the child and what's best for the parent. You are your child's best advocate. You know them better than anyone, and you know what they need. and to make sure that these services go out, go the way you want them to work in your favor, advocate for it. High school, definitely was a social, interesting time. Threshold definitely helped me get way more independent, and I'm really proud of that. I was very stubborn and very independent in high school, and I thought stubborn independence was independence, but it was segueing into the Cambridge environment that really helped me become embody the kind of independence that I wanted. And it also led me to discover a whole new field of independence by getting out of that environment as well.
Any other comments on adulthood?
So something interesting to add real quick. My husband and I were involved in a meeting a couple months ago where we were deciding, right now my daughter's 3. We had to make a decision, are we going to put her in school when she's 5 or wait until she's 6 because she has a summer birthday. So if we had a typically developing child, right, any child I was ever planning on having, my thought was to hold them back because I had a summer birthday and all of my friends and peers were a year older than me. And that was my plan with Brianna as well. However, there are all these different things that go into play. So a child can only get 4K once. And so the decision was, do we put her in 4K next year, effectively keeping her at pace with her age, or do we hold back on 4K and put her in the next year? All of this is leading to, are we holding her back, or are we going to just send her with her birthday to kindergarten? And we were fine with holding her back, but then her therapist had explained to us that in doing so, effectively we would reduce her vocational educational experience in high school from 3 years to 2 years. So here we are, our daughter's 3 years old, and we're being asked to make a decision that's going to affect her when she's 21. And so, you know, we sat back and we thought about it, and we made the decision that we feel is best for today. But it was just very striking that she's 3, and you want me to make a decision that's going to affect her when she's 21. And so that was very interesting, but it's just one of those family discussions where, you know, policies change, programs change. We may be in a different school district, we may be in a different state, what have you, but we came to a family decision. But I just thought it was very interesting that at age 3 we were being asked to make a decision that would affect her long term.